be the good thing.
You could sell it.
Yeah, if I needed to.
Boy, don't I wish that was consistently true.
If there was anywhere else to go.
Yeah. I love it here. I love it here.
About the process.
I like it here too. Oh, the best part, hello.
Do you wish I don't have your number yet?
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
It's for a higher purpose than us, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys start doing this? Today?
No. I have to, with all the new rules, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I cannot wait for you to get yours on the journey.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll just remind everyone that we are being recorded both audio and video. And at this time, I would ask for any public comment from anyone for any matter not on our agenda tonight, but for which we have jurisdiction. This would be now, this would be the time. Yes, would you please state your name for the record?
Deanna Schessler, and I want to preface something before I make my statement. I have owned many properties and rental properties in this town since 2005. Have slowly, in the last few years, sold them off. I have one duplex left. I came in yesterday and asked them, because I have the duplex and only one side is going to be rented, the other side's gonna stay empty for showing and whatnot. So that I asked them if I could only have to pay for like one single family unit rather than the full amount for the two duplex. And Vicki Rouser said to me that you guys have an ordinance or whatever she called it, that, you know, that because there's only one water pipe into the whole building, because it was built in 75, that it was possibly not be able to do that. Well, I just feel that, since there's only one side's gonna be used, no thing's gonna be, and so her statement to me was, somebody might break in. Or you might use it. Well, I have a home, a beautiful home, with every convenience in the world. Why would I come down to an empty unit to use the water? Like I'd wanna steal it after all the thousands and thousands of dollars that I have spent on water, sewer, garbage in this town. I just feel that it would be, there should be an exception to the rule of having to pay $325 a month for 2 units when only one is being used.
Thank you. Do any members of the council have questions for Ms. Schessler?
So, one side's being rented and one is not, but it's for
Correct.
show, but is it going to be rented?
No, absolutely not until it's sold. Then.
You're trying to sell the whole duplex?
Pardon?
You're trying to
Yes.
sell the whole,
Yes, it's not selling one unit, I'm selling the whole ball of wax.
For council's information and recognizing that because this isn't on the agenda, no action can be taken, okay? The ordinance in question is in section 4.16.060, subsection I. Full water rates must be paid for every part of a building in which water is introduced and for all fixtures or outlets connected with the service pipes. And no deductions will be made for rooms not in actual use or on the plea that some of the occupants do not use the water or that some of the fixtures are not used. The charge for the use of fixtures, as long as the water is turned on, can only cease when they are permanently disconnected from the service pipe.
Well, how I feel about it is that, there should be an exception to a rule, every rule has one. And, she accused me of maybe stealing water. Well, you're gonna be stealing money from me by charging for something that's never gonna be used.
Mayor, would it be more appropriate to have a full discussion of this when it's on the agenda, or do you want to do
Absolutely,
that now?
no, it would be better to have this on the agenda
Would be
so that
appropriate.
all members of the public are made aware that it's under discussion.
Do we need a motion to put it on the agenda?
Nope, we can put it on the agenda for either the next meeting or the first meeting in January.
I have no objections to either.
So why did you bother to tell me to come and state my case here? Why didn't you tell me yesterday that you'd have to wait till it was on the agenda?
I did tell you that, ma'am.
No, you did not.
I told you that because it was not on the agenda, council couldn't take any action, but that you were welcome to come make your case under public comment.
I beg to differ with you, but thank you anyway, everybody.
Thank you for the driving out.
What a waste of time.
I would still put it on the agenda. if
Oh,
you don't mind.
absolutely, absolutely. Carrie, would you make a note of that, please?
Yes, December 17th.
Let's take a look at how the agenda fills out for next time, because we've got a public hearing in advance of the meeting.
Yes,
Okay,
okay.
thank
sounds
you.
good.
An update on the request for our legal services. We have, where did I put that? There it is. We have so far received inquiries from two individuals and the Montana League of Cities and Towns. So information has been sent out to all three of those folks. Let me move back up and ask, deal with the minutes. Thank you. I sense somebody saying, we haven't done that quite yet. Council has received the minutes from November 19th, 2024. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Carrie, under the unfinished business ordinance review committee, my name is misspelled.
Your name?
My name.
Well,
That's okay. I mean, I know you call me Ange, but there's a.
thank you.
Any other corrections or additions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as corrected.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as corrected.
Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Now, the Department of Military Affairs Disaster Vulnerability Study, there is a handout in council's packet that talks about a grant that the Montana Department of Military Affairs has received. And essentially it's designed to do some studies and make sure that we get the National Guard incorporated fully into any disaster recovery mitigation kind of plans. So what the spokesperson for military affairs would like to know is who from the city would be our primary contact person. This pamphlet talks primarily about fire suppression, because of course the Montana Guard is out in the limestones, live ammunition, and actually fairly frequently fires start. They put them out, there's always the possibility that it gets away from them. And they also, the spokesperson also commented that there might be some other disasters that the National Guard might be able to help with within the county. And so trying to flesh that out. And certainly you don't need to make any decision tonight, because I realize you're reading this now. But let's keep that on our radar.
When are they anticipating beginning this process?
I think in the spring, and it would be probably 3 to 4 meetings of the stakeholders group, who have all of the stakeholders that they're trying to identify right now. The department is currently in the RFP process, identifying a contractor, consultant, and it would be the consultant then that would be holding the stakeholders meetings. Okay. A piece of correspondence that the city has received is from Jeremy Fadness on behalf of the city, letter to Out of the Box Architecture dealing with the North Cherry Condominium minor subdivision, basically some preliminary approvals, and I believe I emailed that to you. Okay, just making sure we are on record with that.
Are they planning to move forward with that at all, or is it still up for sale?
Oh no, this is the requested annexation.
I thought they went up for sale too about 3 months ago. No? They're still planning to move forward on it?
The original requesters sold the property to Out of the Box Architecture.
Okay.
Okay. It's been a bit of a moving target, so understand the confusion. Let's move now to the McCarthy Park Playground equipment. Noah, thank you for coming back once again. Do you have any additional information for us? Remind us of which one of the scenarios you actually wanted, are more in favor of?
Yeah, do you guys need packets back?
Eric,
So,
did you get one?
I looked at yours.
Okay, all right.
so looking through all the options we had, we didn't wanna remove any of the trees, we also didn't wanna get in the way of the manhole. We still need to tear out those old swings because they're becoming a rusty safety hazard, which is why we're doing this in the first place. I think option 2 would be our best place to go. And since they can't expand the baseball park, it's open.
Eric's recommendation. Option 3. Really like 3. It keeps everything over to the side, gives it right off that line there. If there was ever a fly ball or anything from them playing, they'd be well over. I mean, I know you always have your foul ball too. I mean, John might be a little bit better than that. But if it was just right off that walking path there, I mean, that'd be a great spot for it. But
John, input on that?
Let me see, real quick, I just had a question.
Here you go, sir.
Thanks, Glenn.
I didn't know if you guys had a chance to get together on that.
Foul balls are always good, that means they're seeing the ball, making contact. You said option 3. So, Noah, you like option 2, which is on the far right hand side. And you like 3.
I kinda did just cause it was over. I mean, it don't really matter at the end of the day. But
But you believe that it increases the safety?
Well, I think option 3 puts it more in the trees to be able to deflect the balls, is that what you're thinking? Versus just being out next to the concession stands?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Either 2 or 3, is it affecting sprinkler systems?
Well, it's gonna affect. Yep.
Either one.
Yeah, 3 might have a little less impact, just the way that the gravel and that is there than option 2 would. But the biggest reason I like 3 is that, like I said, it's tucked right off that walking path for everybody quality would've been just coming in so their kids could play right off of it and everything else, so. That's why I kinda like 3, so, yeah.
Worst possible case, somebody decides to abduct a child, which of these two minimizes that risk?
3 would, they'd have further to get out.
Distance,
Yeah, the further distance for
there's
them to
more
get out.
distance into the park.
Yep.
Doug?
Option 2, when I looked at that last time, this is just sharing. When I was playing Little League, I watched Frank Erickson and his son Mike walking where we're proposing to. And Mike had no clue, foul ball, and whacked him dead in the face. Nothing.
Yep.
Just, no idea the ball's even coming. Right about where that too was at, so I think. That was 40 years.
When you presented to us at the last meeting, you stated that there was a possibility that outside of this initial project, that you wanted to look into adding on to it? Was that adding swing sets back?
So the swing sets haven't been ordered yet, we'll order them in the spring because they come a lot faster and we don't really have the money for it quite yet.
Okay, but if we were to choose option 3, would you still be able to do the entire project?
Yes, so the actual footprint is both this and the swing sets combined. Oh, gosh, be standing by this.
Oh,
So,
this big picture right here?
yep, so this, like, circle includes the actual playset and the swing set, just in case we can get that.
Okay, what's council's pleasure?
I say we go with 3 because of the added safety and possible impact on the sprinkler systems.
Is that a motion?
I motion that we approve the McCarthy Park Playground, project by this young man,
No.
with option 3.
I'll second that motion.
Yay.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize McCarthy Park playground equipment installation using option 3. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. All right, 3rd time's the charm, right?
Well, I'm sure there'll be a dog down the road, right? Of some sort.
It's supposed to be nice this weekend, you got plenty of time to work.
If you wanna dig up that ground with me, I'll get you a shovel.
That's what
Very
heavy
smart.
equipment's for.
All right.
So, if I might
Yes.
suggest, before they actually begin to do anything, they've got the equipment, that we come back to the council and brief them on what the current status is.
Absolutely, that would be great.
Yeah. Is it springtime, kind of does not quite have a date yet? Get the funding and all that lined up?
Yeah, it should be in springtime,
Okay,
because the parts are ordered, they're coming in January.
okay,
It's more of an issue of when the ground thaws out.
Right.
Keep it far enough that we can start sinking.
before baseball
So
season.
by March, when baseball starts then, or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just bring extra bats when they build.
That's too easy.
Yes,
Yeah.
certainly keep us informed. And
Thank you.
for
Yeah,
the
thank you very
actual
much. Thanks for all your hard work on
installation,
that.
Eric will be there, be around anyway. Okay,
Yeah, so you know, buddy, that way you can get a hold of me directly, okay?
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
okay. Mr. Bliley?
Yes, ma'am, What are we
So-
talking about? So, Mayor, you probably can I put this here?
Sure.
You good? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got that, I apologize, I didn't bring it for everybody, but I can kinda talk it really quick, I'll stand over here so everybody gets a view, so. Everybody knows kinda where the parks are at over there, everybody's kinda familiar with that, so this is just a general look at it, realistically. So we ran the numbers and we walked it off, I think Eric and I walked it off, with a roller, and we ended up coming out, so this center field here, so this is good, this field here, just so you know, is where we currently play our Babe Ruth and our Majors team. So Majors is our 12-year-old kids. Babe Ruth is everybody up to 16, so 13 through 16. So that's where the high school was gonna play. So what we opted at doing is we opted at putting Babe Ruth and the high school team on this field right here. And then we're gonna move our major team, which used to play over here, we put a fence up right out here. I don't know if you know, there was holes or templates in the ground where we would put up a plastic fence that would go around, and that way we could have the big kids play, and then when the little kids came in, we'd just fence it off, drag the fence out, fence it off. So the end of that fence was 200 feet on this side, out to center field. So what we ended up doing was we based it off of this, trying to drag that out to do what we needed to get it to 215 feet. And you can see kind of where the orange lines are. You could kind of do that. The problem that we would have is it's gonna squeeze off over here when they play tennis, but more importantly, it's gonna squeeze off one of our T-ball fields that's right there. So we asked the league, we put in a call to the Gallatin Valley Baseball League, and they were good with us keeping status quo, meaning that we can still have our majors kids play on this field because we walked it off. This is about 185 feet to left field. Center field's exactly 200, just like it was over here. It's a little shy over here on right field, which is about 175, because it gets a little wonky with the church and the pin and everything, but I had the president of Gallatin Valley Baseball come out and take a look at it, and he's good to go with us keeping it there, and we can still play. So the only thing that we would actually come back, and it's really more safety on, for the kids playing, is since now we're gonna have a hard line fence here instead of just a rollout fence that we used to have. We didn't have any problems with the kids catching balls and running into that fence, cause it was pretty easy, it would give quite a bit. But for this chain link fence, we're gonna end up putting on some caps on the top, just for safety for kids when they run out for balls, in case they have to go over the fence to get them, etc. So we're not gonna modify this, we're gonna leave it status quo, if that's all right with everybody here. And so the only thing that we would be looking at doing is we would be looking at, excuse me, just putting the shed out there. So this is in between the baseball fields. We've already modified this field for the high school league. We got a little bit of stuff to do out there. You notice we brought in some gravel. So we're gonna spread that gravel out on the infield side of things, and we should be good to go there. But this is where the shed would go right here. So right here is the white shed that we currently have. And I think over here is where Eric was talking about where those controls are for the sprinkler system. So if we move it out a little bit in between here and this other batting cage, we would have enough room for that shed to sit that way. And we thought about putting it down here, but the problem with that is it's all the way down here, and then both fields couldn't get to the equipment when they needed it, so that was our only concern. So for us, option A would be to put it here. If we had to, we certainly could put it where the city would like us to put it. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll end up painting it, just like we did with concession stands. We'll probably do I can't remember what the name of the blue color was, but.
Bulldog.
Yeah, we'll call it bulldog blue, thank you. Yeah. So we'll do it that color, and then we still have to finish up. We put new roofs on the, like I said last time, put all new roofs on the dugouts. We gotta touch up a little paint on this dugout over here on the bottom, and then we're gonna repaint these ones, and then we'll get them stenciled. And then we should be good to go for next year's baseball, so. That's really our only concern. I think the last dimensions we got on that shed was 12 by 24.
That's what you told me.
Yeah, 12 by 24, so.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
Eric, do you see any problems with spectator traffic flow?
No.
Okay.
Need a motion? Just want to recap.
Yes.
So what we're looking at is the addition of a shed and the chain link fence.
Not the chain link, just the
Okay.
tops on it.
Just the top?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we would offer up, I mean, we've gotta be good stewards to everybody here. If when you get your place set up, and if you deem that it's gonna be a little left on the foul balls, we've got some old netting that we could probably put out. We would just need probably a couple poles to go on the ground, and we could probably shed that, plaything from any foul balls.
Okay.
Not worried about the foul balls on the Babe Ruth high school side, I'm more worried about the foul balls from the other side, so, cause those trees will stop the rest of those other ones.
They would, wouldn't they? Yep, okay.
Then I would entertain a motion to accept the plans from the Baseball Association for McCarthy Field.
I will make said motion.
I'll second that motion.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed plans regarding the shed and the caps on the fence for McCarthy Park from the Baseball Association. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you very much,
bet.
appreciate that.
No, if you need any help with that, get ahold of Eric and he'll get ahold of him. We'll put the kids on it. Thanks, everybody.
Oh,
Thank you, guys.
thank you, folks.
Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no, just get a hold of me on that and stuff, and we'll make it work, okay? I mean, I'm not too worried about it.
There aren't any significant updates to the Townsend water system projects. I spoke with Peter earlier today. He has not yet received the signed quitclaim deed with his, on the well 3 property, but he was going to reach out. Figured, with the holiday that we're probably still okay. Is there any update from Ordinance Review Committee? Same as last meeting, okay. Events Committee,
I'll be contacting the committee later this week to set a date for the next meeting. I've gotta get Monica's surgery out of the way first.
okay. Okay, presuming status quo on telecommunications franchise?
Yes.
Okay, there is no further information or need to discuss the dog kennel upgrade, it's just pending, or the cat ordinance. Fireworks Committee,
We had a good meeting and, we're gonna draft up some new ordinances and discuss those at our next meeting that is yet to be set for sometime in January. And, that's kind of where
But
we're at.
we'll be setting that date on the 19th.
For Jim.
yes, Angie.
The, survey information was, did you get what you
Yeah.
guys needed? It was.
It was really interesting, I mean,
Yeah.
if you wanted to look,
No, I just
over
wanted
it.
to see what, results you guys got, what you needed.
Yeah.
Okay, no further information on our garbage cans on Broadway. The sewer ordinance is also status quo. And the Broadwater County Hazard Mitigation Plan, I emailed that document to you all. And I will tell you now that I have not yet read it. So we'll just keep that on our agenda unless somebody have anything observations to make about it.
Only as a general observation, we've got a lot of stuff that's been on pending business for a long time. I think I'd like to recommend that somehow we, between now and the first meeting in January, that we have to look into the fire and try to get these things scheduled for completion, ideally in the first quarter of next year.
Okay, we have six of those items require some legal counsel attention.
But that's true, but we're to the point where we need to basically do drafting as a council and bring the legal part, the legal analysis in after that point. It's like the sewer ordinance, that one's been on there kind of as long as I can remember. I'm not even sure what its status is.
Has not begun.
What's the goal?
To update it as needed and to dovetail it to the extent necessary with water. As in, water in, water out, okay?
Good
I'm
point.
sure some of that will change with the water system implementation and that, with the sewer.
But does the ordinance,
Well, I don't know if that does or doesn't, but I mean, the following.
Angie, where would you really put that in the bigger picture of the ordinance review process?
Well, it's something that definitely needs to be looked at, which is why it's on here, and it's just that Peter got sidetracked with everything that had to be done for the water tower. So, I mean, it needs to coincide with the water ordinance as well, so.
That's,
But what water ordinance review do we need? I mean, when does it get scheduled for its regular review?
The water ordinance was most recently updated in 2021.
And the goal is to try to bring the sewer ordinance to that point?
That was
That was the initial goal, yes.
Okay.
So certainly, the ordinances that are being actively looked at by the various council committees, we can move those forward as fast as council committees
Yeah,
can
yeah,
move them
I
forward.
just-
right.
We kinda need to clear some plate here in the next 60,
Right.
70 days.
And the ordinances that are on this list were on the sheet that I presented to
Yeah,
council
yeah.
for the end of the year, so that we can move forward into the next section that needed to be reviewed. So if we could work to get, I don't think that in 2 weeks we're gonna get these all taken care of to be able to get them to Peter. So if not, hopefully by the end of January at the latest, possibly.
This is, it's not impossible, and in fact, that's kind of
Yeah,
why I'm bringing this up, is that we all need to really burn a few candles here to try to get this all done.
right.
We're getting used to this process, and we get to get used to it a little bit more.
Right, which that's why we set the scheduling for it.
Yeah.
And it's kinda hard with it being the holidays, especially coming into the next couple of weeks, cause everybody's going to be, traveling, spending it with family, so. I agree with you, JB, if we could possibly set a goal for the end of January to get what we have
Get it all done.
taken care of.
Thanks, Mayor, that's what I got.
Certainly, and I would just add to that, if council believes it's necessary to call some special meetings to move it along, we will do that. Certainly trying to be respectful of everybody's businesses, employment, and other obligations. At the same time, to JB's point, it's time to move forward on some things. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look at the claims?
Yep.
And?
I move that we accept the claims.
Just can't believe I had to prompt you that. It's been moved to approve the claims. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the claims. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Is there any public comment at this time? Second chance. Okay.
Nope.
Didn't have anything better to do tonight, right?